But Amanda Ross Jerry Bennett is the owner now. But let's say, if I log in from this user, let me first reset the password here. This is a change password, 1, 2, 3, 4. Change password, 1, 2, 3, 4. Save this. Log out from here now. I log in from this. Jerry Bennett, if you see, policy volition count is coming as 3. If I open this now, it will show me those 3 users who are reporting to this user, the Jerry Bennett and the policy right track. SOD dash. This is a policy name. Okay, now it will give you option, allow or revoke. When you allow, it will ask you time period, by which time period you want to allow this access. Okay, this violation. And for the revoke, it will give you prompt here out of this to access which you want to revoke, to eliminate this access. Remitted this or volition. Okay, this is how we handle the volition in SailPoint. So here, if you see, description is coming with blank right. Okay, the reason is at the time of defining the policy. I have not provided any kind of description here, okay you? See description field is totally blank here and again. Here also, you will see the description field. So this is totally blank. So if you want to provide those instruction here, it will come directly. You don't need to do any special thing, okay? Okay, I think that user can have but he cannot execute it, like he cannot order the access and he cannot approve by himself for that same user. But he cannot have 2 values only. So there are 2 things. Policy, you know, when we apply the policy. Policy applied by 2 ways. One is when you have existing data right on the data you are applying. You are basically checking any user who has this access, so simply generate the policy volition. Okay, now the volition owner will be responsible to take action. Let's say, I configure the manager right, so manager needs to take action. So manager is a volition owner right. So, for example, I am the user, I'm violating the policy. I have both access, approve and input, so I am violating a policy right. So the volition will go to my manager now. Manager needs to remove one of access. Either it's approved or input to limit the volition right same time new user who are requesting for it. We can also control that right. But in order to control that, you have to learn one more thing. When we click on this quick link SailPoint, call this business process. If you go in Lifecycle Manager, second tab Business Process. So for each quick links here, this business process is defined okay. So let's say we use, whenever you use manager's access or manage account, SailPoint. Call this first 2, basically, else I'm provisioning right. So let's go to Business Process Editor. Okay, basically I have to explain this in the workflow chapter, but that's fine. So now, if you see this, else I'm provisioning here, okay, else I'm provisioning selected. Go to Process Variable. Okay, here, scroll down. You will see a section related to policy. Right, so if you see, policy will be checked, yeah, so when we requesting something right at that time. If you want to check policy, so you this setting, you see continue and policy violation. So these are 4 options. Whenever you are for example, I'm requesting for approve an input for a user, let's say erroneous callers, okay, or any user for that I'm requesting to entitlement a same approve when input, which actually violating this policy. SOD right, but 2 separate rules have to be created, one at request level, one is for already existing users. No, same policy will be used. Okay, so we have defined this policy. When we run the task, this policy will evaluate against all the user that we have in the system now. The second is at a time of requesting. This process is called, this LSM provisioning is called. In this LSM provisioning there is a step, there's a particular piece of code is written which we actually check the violation, which basically check the any policies configured in your system. And yes, if that is policies configured, is it your request is violating that policy or not? So that is actually configured here. If you scroll down here, policy checking, now policy setting, these are the 4 options. So whenever you are, let's say, I'm requesting for you, Apeksha, to entitlement approve an input right, and which is actually when you're worried by this policy, track SOD right. So these are the 4 options that we can configure. First one is we can disable the policy checking. So no policy will be checked by the process. Okay. Second is continuing policy violation. Even if the policy violation is there, it will continue. It will not give you any message or anything. It will go as a normal flow, okay. But in the back end it will basically create a violation, but it will not stop you to request okay. Third one is present, failure to request. So I am requesting for you. So it will give me prompt that, okay, you are violating a policy. Okay, so I will be not able to order the request or the access. Yeah, if I'm a pro, or yeah, so last one is fail workflow. Immediately fail the request. So I will show you the third one, how it will show you, end user, okay policy setting. Present failure to requester. And policy to check all. If you want, you can select from this list. Right now we have only one, so you can go with this option. Of this option, both are fine. Okay, save. This process is saved. Okay, go to Manager Access again. Now select a user, let's say who has no count on track application. Let's say Alice, let's check if he has. Or pick any user. Basically, yeah, this is fine. So you see this. This user already has input access right now, but this user, I'll request for approve access. Next filter, have an application and track. So it will only show me tracking title means. So these are for entitlement. This user already has input right, so now I will request for the approve. Next submit. You see policy violation will occur. Track SOD, new rule now based on your policy, what you have defined here, it will show. But this here, it will just simply show the basic thing that you are pointing out, this policy. This is for new user. What about? Consider, already users are having access to approve and input, so now we will implement the policy rule. So what will happen to the existing users? Yes, for the existing user. We run this task, right? Okay, the task. Actually, you know the task I run. Check the policy. So I covered the both scenario for the manager. Like violations is there for these users? So see, here, actually I am requesting it, right? So it will present this violation to me because I am requesting it. Okay, this is what we configured here in the business process. If you see here advanced setting survey, instead policy present failure to requester. It doesn't matter a manager is a sequester or SP admin. The person who's requesting it will show the message right. Existing user. If you see, we configured here what manager is a volition owner when we run the task check active policy. What's it pointed? All the user, which are present in the SailPoint system right and the SailPoint database, SailPoint run. I mean simple invalid. That if any user is policy like SOD, with this condition that we have defined here, if it is, yes, the action. Yeah, it will generate a volition and it will assign the volition to the manager.